Planting seasons are not reversible. They are not. You miss it, you miss it. This is the planting season of your life. I've spoken to you, young men, because you're strong. The word of God abides in you, and you overcome the wicked one. This is the planting season of your life. They will choke your tender grape and make such victims miserable. Just be idle. Do nothing. Do not productive. Those who put pleasure before labor usually end up living under pressure. The wise man said, prepare thy work in the field. Proverbs 24 verse 27. And make it fit for thyself. And afterwards, build thy house. Yesterday made it 35 years that God sent me to Lagos. Our mission could not afford 45,000 per annum for a house. No, we shouldn't try that. That would be catastrophe. That's out of budget. Out of budget. But today, huge estates across the nations. Same system, same organization. Afterwards, build thy house. Work first. Pleasure later. If you put pleasure first, you are under pressure. You will rent a house beyond you and can't find sleep. You buy a car you cannot maintain, so you get grounded eventually. Life. When you hear me telling you stories of 48 years ago, okay, how old am I? That tells you how early I got started learning about life and how to make the most of it. I will soon be 70. I have no regret for any aspect of my life. I'm speaking to you the word of a father to complement what your parents teach you. You better hearken to the instruction of a father and make the most of your life. We grew up to, as boys, the playboys of our time, they are off the radar. Off the radar. Can't trace them. Does that mean they are dead? No. They're just off. Life is an adventure in times and seasons. Ecclesiastes 3, 1 and 2. And he makes all things beautiful in his time, verse 11. This is the planting season of your life as youths. This is your planting season. If you miss the planting season for corn, you go cornless for that year, or you buy. Planting seasons are not reversible. They are not. You miss it, you miss it. This is the planting season of your life. I've spoken to you, young men, because you're strong. The word of God abides in you, and you overcome the wicked one. This is the planting season of your life. 1 John 2:14. You better recognize the planting season of your life. Don't allow weeds to grow. They will choke your tender grape and make such victims miserable. Can I have you say with me, I'm in the planting season of my life? What does that mean? It's now your time to clear your field of all by uprooting all unwanted trees. That's how to start planting. You first do clearing of the debris in your life that stand as blockades to your future. Uprooting them. Uprooting habits that will block your access to a future. And then you plow. I'm talking about a Greek now. You break up the ground. You break up the fallow ground. And then you arrow. Turn it around. And then you reach. Ready for planting. Then you fertilize the earth to make the most of your seed. It's a process. And requires a lot of time. A son that sleeps in harvest is one that brings his father shame. Therefore, awake, thou that sleepest, and arise from the dead, and Christ shall give thee light. Proverbs 10, 4 and 5. Awake. I found something at 16 from Lamentation 3:27 that it is good for a young man to bear his yoke in his youth. It got hold of me, and I went under a little shrub behind the hostel of our secondary school and knelt down and said, Jesus, whatever yoke I need to bear when I'm old, let me bear it now. I don't want to be carrying luggage at old age. Later I came to understand what that yoke actually means. It's not suffering, no. Responsibility. Take responsibility early or you end up in liability later. Take responsibility early or you end up in liability later. Take responsibility early or you end up in liability later. Take responsibility now or you end up in liability later. You mustn't end your life with a die known. That's why you are knowing now. Jesus described what this yoke is all about when he said, come unto me, all you that labor and are heavy laden, and I'll give you rest. Come and learn of me. My yoke is easy and my burden is light, and you find rest for your souls. Matthew 11, 28 and 29. Take my yoke upon you and learn. Don't wait to learn by experience. Learn by exploration of knowledge. Don't wait to learn how to avoid accident. By experience, you may not survive it. Learn it by knowledge. It's safer, it's secure. So it is the yoke of learning or the responsibility of learning what it takes to make the most of one's life. I say humorously here, the yoke of learning is lighter than the yoke of suffering. The yoke of learning is lighter than the yoke of suffering. Don't learn by suffering. Learn by learning. The burden of learning is lighter than the burden of failure. The burden of learning is lighter than the burden of failure. The yoke of learning is far more dignifying than the horror of poverty. Learn how not to be poor. Learn efficient management of your resources. Learn the covenant approach to sustainable financial fortune. Learn it, learn it, learn it, learn it. By the grace of God, I have a walk-through library in my home. It's a whole place. About 4 rows. You'll find books there of 1 naira 35 kobo. I will tell you when. I started consciously buying books to learn about life since I was 20. Nothing of value is ever free. Wake up. You have a vision, well done. If you don't learn how to pursue your vision, it will become a delusion. You won't see the light of day. Learn. Learn. Shakespeare said, I wasted time, and now time doth waste me. He looked at all that he would have done with his time, but somehow, he saw a lot of it wasted. With all that he accomplished. Our great Nnamdi Azikiwe said, give me my youth back and I will pay any price for it. Just looking back and saying what I would have done if I had better sense. Quality time investors usually end up as newsmakers. Invest. Don't look for the easy way out. You live a crooked life by doing that. All smart time investors, more often than not, end up as stars in their fields of endeavors. Do you have some challenges, some courses or programs that you are running? Invest time during this season to revert it. Sit down with your mate who knows better. There's no shame in knowledge. When I was riding my fantastic Volkswagen Beetle, there's one brother very good at it. He has a Volkswagen brain. When you start, he can tell you where the trouble is. You just say, start. Wait. One plug is challenged. He doesn't have a scanner. There were no scanners then. But he could tell. He could tell where the trouble of your car is. So, and we all line up because we have a group, a Volkswagen group. We line up in his workshop to wait for our turn for repair. And then the consultant will come out. He knows it. And we don't know it. He didn't go to any school, but we went to all the school. We didn't know it. He has to help us. If we try to repair, we will get grounded. They can't move again. So get your classmate who understand the language of the teacher when he taught. And he can help you interpret what you can't get. Then you come out of it. Instead of wearing trousers that is below your buttock, going around town. Those who make news hardly have time to watch them. Their time is invested making the news for others to watch. May you end up a newsmaker, not a news watcher. And I says, okay, what is he adding to you? Nothing. Nothing. When you hear a vehicle move like that in America, it's a black American. No, it's a black American. Value system upside down. The noise is shaking the whole street. Oh, for what? Are you advertising anything? No. And now today you have all the media, social, anti-social. You have all of them. You can be busy 25 hours a day watching nonsense that's adding no value. But that's not you. That's not where you're coming from. Sir, giants give birth to giants. If you end up here as a mediocre, you are not here. You better connect. Those core values are not laws to keep you as a student. They are values to give your life meaning. Interestingly, time is an asset of equality. Why some invest it, others simply squander it. You won't squander your time. It's an asset. Everybody has 24 hours to himself or herself. Everybody. Can I tell you something that may shock you? I've been here since '89. There are few places we mention in Lagos that I know how to get there. Very few. Do I know where Surulere is? I don't. I know where Bagada is? I don't. Because that's not what I came for. Time, an asset of inestimable value. Don't squander it. Don't squander it. It can't be bought back. It cannot be bought back. There's a story of two high school boys. I've shared that here before. They met 19 years after they parted from school. One of them was jobbing from one fast food platform to another. The other one spent time reading books that border on psychology, that border on success, that border on human something. And according to him, he read 600 books. Come on now. 600 books. It's like becoming a Nobel laureate in the corner of your room. This child emerged consultant to IBM, US Navy. The other one that was jobbing from one fast food to another because he likes food perhaps. After they left high school, they grew up together. It was worth $7.50 an hour. The other young man who has invested his time in developing himself was worth $200,000 an hour. $200,000 an hour. Real life story. Real life story. Time. An asset of inestimable value. Now, task management. Efficient task management. You have a task, a job, a business. How do you make the most of it? Simple. Invest maximally. Your time, your energy, your resources. They call it diligence. Proverbs 12:24. The hand of the diligent will end up enthroned, but the slothful shall remain under tribute. You can only walk your way up. You can't wish your way up. You can only walk your way up. You can't wish your way up. You can only walk your way up. You can't wish your way up. I saw this truth early in my life. Proverbs 22:29. Seest thou a man that is diligent in his business? He shall stand before kings. He shall not stand before me men.
You can't make the most of any business you won't face. You won't face your business today, you'll be faced out tomorrow. I've defined the business here as an art of exchange of values for the benefit of the parties involved. I've spent my time to create this artwork, right? And you like this artwork, you pay your money to pay for my time and my skill. You have nothing to bring on board